embarrassed to say the words "I'm lonely" or "I need friends" for fear that people might think less of them. But God said that He is the friend who sticks to you closer than a brother. You can trust Him. He will be by your side through all the challenges of your life. I know it experientially. He's waiting for you to come to Him. Will you come to Him?
Do you feel alone, isolated, forsaken? You can find hope and peace today. Visit findingtruepeace.com to find out more. That's findingtruepeace.com.
Hi, I'm Jane King, and thank you for watching. This show is all about public, private, and blockchain companies. We bring you the innovators behind the companies making the headlines in that space. Some are sponsored, some are invited, all are curated and focused on telling you, the viewers, their story. Here we go. GreenBox POS is a new global way to process payments using blockchain technology. And with me is Ben Erez, the co-founder and chairman at GreenBox POS. So great to see you again, Ben.
Yeah. Hi, Jen. My pleasure.
So you recently announced the second quarter results. You had processing volume of $800 million and $11 million in revenue. So that was a huge increase in last year. So talk about your results compared to last year, and what do you think led to those?
Yeah, that's a good question. So this spike was expected. I primarily attribute it to the continued execution on our growth plans. The onboarding of particularly low-risk volume accelerated. Portfolio acquisitions, including ChargeSavvy in the second quarter and the Merchant Northeast, and others. We anticipate this trend to not only continue, but further accelerate with the additional organic growth and planned M&A activities for the second half of the year.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you mentioned M&A, and you have been making some acquisitions, right? So there was ChargeSavvy, Northeast Merchant Services, Transact Europe. Tell me about those, and how do all of those add to the overall ecosystem at GreenBox?
Right. So acquisitions activities are very important for the timely positioning and differentiation for both GreenBox and Coiny. The name of the game is market share, with the first derivative of that idea being the volume of processing. With the three acquisitions that are still planned for the second half of the year, we're striving to position Coiny as a focused commercial alternative to both USDC from Circle and Venmo from PayPal in time for its planned IPO. The volume benefits GreenBox transactional ecosystem in 1-to-1 ratio as to the Coiny execution, as well as generate new profit centers for both companies.
And Coiny, so that's basically a smart contract technology that you're using. You just talked about, maybe having that as a spin-off IPO.
Right.
Would this be like a competition to like Venmo? I mean, how does Coiny work exactly?
Right. So, in the previous question, you touched a little bit about the timely adoption and utilization of Coiny. This is the key to Coiny's success. The acquisitions add volume commitments to the platform in the same order of magnitude as Circle, with better technology and better compliance. We plan on adding funds to our revolver accounts with Signature Bank, reaching the $100 million mark by the time Coiny IPO is completed. We think that escape velocity for the platform is likely to be between 500 million and 1 billion in volume of processing per month. This is projected to happen within the next 12 months. We hope that this will translate to benefiting shareholders of both companies in the same manner. Coiny is an amazing opportunity, and we intend to do our best to capture it in the second half of the year.
And then also you had a conference call recently, went over the proposed spinoff and public offering of the stable coin technology platform. So help us understand, why is this necessary, better off for investors to do it that way?
Yes, that's a very interesting question. How is it that you take something out of something else and the combination of the two creates more value to both? So here's the explanation. So GreenBox today fetches a multiple of roughly 25. Coiny, as a focused commercial offering, is in a space that currently fetches about 8 times that figure. By spinning it off, both companies benefit in terms of projected market cap, both jointly and separately. The strategy also allows GreenBox to reward its investors and shareholders with a special dividend of approximately 45% of their holding of GreenBox, paid in Coiny shares around the time of the IPO of Coiny. Our duty as officers of GreenBox is to increase shareholder value to the best of our ability. This idea helps a lot with that goal.
And then you also recently announced a special dividend series that was tied to the spinoff going public. There was some confusion about the record date being postponed. So can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Right. So during that call that you just mentioned, I explained that the record dates for the dividend are regulated activity. And as such, we need special approval to announce and record these events. The original 8/16 date was pushed at the request of NASDAQ. They requested more information, and we provided it. There was a second motive for that decision to postpone the first record date of the dividend. We wanted an opportunity to include an additional acquired asset to this offering that will help us take the initial enterprise value to over the $1 billion mark. Announcement on that will come shortly in conjunction with the filing of the S1 for the offering and the resulting first day of record for the dividend. We're fully committed to the dividend, and there's no plan to change its size. However, the first day of record depends on when the S1 is available. And the second day of record remains the same, approximately 45 days prior to the IPO itself.
Okay. And I know you have been asked on the earnings calls about Fiserv. So what can you share about that?
Yes. So we are in the final stages of the Fiserv integration that we hope to make that announcement by the end of the month. And that would be the month of August.
Well, Ben, thank you so much. You have had a lot going on and a lot of significant developments. So thank you for coming and sharing that today.
My pleasure, Jane. Thank you.
Secure, the true solution for your digital privacy and security. Secure is a private and secure messaging and email solution hosted in Switzerland, using military-grade encryption and Swiss privacy laws, giving you true privacy. Secure is 100% private and does not collect or sell any of your personal data. Secure's Helix technology connects you securely to our Swiss servers without the need of a VPN, guaranteeing privacy and security for all your communications. Secure Messenger doesn't require your phone number or any personal data that hackers target. Chat by Invites allows you to chat privately and securely with anyone outside of your secure network without the need for others to download Secure. Secure Send offers you a private and secure way to email anyone outside of Secure. You won't find this level of privacy or security on any other email or instant messaging application. Visit secure.com. Regain and protect your privacy today.
Blockquake is looking to launch its global crypto exchange very soon. So with me to bring us up to date on where Blockquake is CEO Antonio Brass, and then also Sam Hyun, the chief strategist. So great to see you guys again. It's been a long time, and I know we've been through a lot since we last talked. But so Sam, let's start with you. Update us on where things are.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, thanks for having us, Jane. A lot has been developing on Blockquake's end. We've been essentially working quite diligently on the back end, just making sure that, all integrations are set in stone. Long story short, our plan is to get live by the end of this month. So that's we don't have a specific date per se, but we are extremely confident that we will be going live by the end of this month. So we're extremely excited for that. In terms of kind of further updates, we are initially going to be offering a lot of the top traded cryptocurrencies, along with stable coins, as part of our Blockquake exchange. And we are also looking to kind of have that as one of the trading pair supports with the US dollar. So it's important to note that for all of our future customers on the Blockquake exchange, that they will actually be getting a multi-currency account for the deposit accounts immediately for the 6 fiats. So the 6 fiats would actually include the US dollar, the Canadian dollar, the euro, the Great British pound, the Australian dollar, and the Japanese yen. So, we do have intentions of adding additional pairs to the 6 fiats, along with additional cryptocurrencies soon after going live. But, we definitely wanted to have this sort of scale up approach where, we do have, a foundation set first and then kind of aggressively scale up and ramp up as we go live.
Well, that was just what I was going to ask you about, because that was one thing I really remember, Antonio, was that you talked about, and you came from like the regulation part of the financial industry, and you really talked about how you were making sure, and this feels like this is like a fluid situation. So have you?
Yeah, particularly for both myself and Sam specifically, we came from an audit, compliance, risk background in banking and insurance, financial services, and we've dealt with a lot of global regulatory matters and other compliance issues in our past life, in our career prior to Blockquake. So a lot of that stuff is coming full circle now, where we leverage a lot of that knowledge.
Mm-hmm. So Sam, talk about some of the partners that you have right now.
Yeah, for sure. So, we have a wide list of partners that we're working with. We have this approach of working with the best in class folks in this space, and we do realize that, with a lot of these partners that we've partnered up with, that they kind of have their own strengths. So, just to kind of list, some of the few out of the many partnerships that we currently have, we are working with the best in class as it relates to liquidity as well as market making. So that's going to be our partnership with BlockFills and Secure Digital Markets. We are also working to make sure from a compliance standpoint and a risk monitoring and all things relating to transaction monitoring, just to kind of ensure that there's mitigation of any sort of fraud. We do have a partnership with Chain Analysis along with Solidus Labs. just kind of going down the list, we are also working with Fireblocks, who's going to be our hot wallet solutions provider. We know that in terms of the technology that they use, they're using MPC technology, which is, one of the most secure security protocols that are currently in place. So we wanted to kind of make sure that for our customers that are coming onto our exchange, that they were going to feel secure knowing that, okay, Blockquake is working with, all these big players, not just focusing on the retail market, but also taking into consideration all those people in the institutional market as well. We are also trying to find ways to make the entry point easier for our users when they're using our Blockquake exchange. So another example is our integration with Plaid, which will grant our customers the ability to be able to make a deposit via ACH. So it's just an easier gateway for customers to kind of not go through those additional hurdles of having to wait too long to make a deposit, just finding more ways to make the registration process, but also just making the deposit process in order to buy or sell cryptocurrency as easy as possible.
Okay, so Antonio, do you want to chime in on capital raise efforts and where you are with that?
Definitely. So we've actually recently launched a Regulation CF crowdfunding campaign through the WeFunder platform. And for those not familiar with what that is, there's a lot of crowdfunding platforms out there. WeFunder is the largest out there, but you've got like Start Engine, Republica, a few others out there that might be known names. And it's an opportunity for people to invest in companies that are startups that are coming out there, whether it be through equity, loan-based, or some other structure. It's an opportunity to actually invest in a company. So we're doing ours through WeFunder, and that's at wefunder.com/Blockquake for anyone that wants to look that up. Our timing is just perfect with this. As we all know, there's another crypto exchange out there that's publicly traded, and the everyday normal person in the general public, other than being able to invest in that, we're the only other opportunity for the general public to actually invest in a company that owns a crypto exchange. So, we definitely stand out in that way, and obviously at a much lower valuation with huge growth potential in front of us.
Okay, very interesting, and congratulations on getting this far. And please come back once you launch and update us, and with all the changes that I know you'll be making over the next year or so.
Definitely, it's exciting times. I feel like every month is going to be drastically different going forward.
All right, best of luck, Sam and Antonio. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
PetVivo is an emerging biomedical device company focused on the licensing and commercialization of innovative medical devices for pets. And with me is the CEO, John Lai. Welcome, John. Good to see you this morning.
Thank you, Jane. It's a pleasure to be here.
So, big accomplishment for PetVivo. You have achieved a major milestone with your NASDAQ uplisting and the closing of significant financing. So, congratulations on that. And kind of tell me a little bit about how does that position the company then going forward?
Thank you. Well, it allows us to really aggressively push the marketing of Kush, our product for treating osteoarthritis, as well as bring in additional salespeople. I think our forecast is we're looking to bring in 9 additional salespeople over the next 12 months. So it also positions us from the standpoint of really beefing up the production staff that will allow us to get to 500,000 units a year, which is significant.
Well, I'm sure this is a growing area. Now, you deal specifically with osteoarthritis. So, and you're going to be treating canine, equine, horses. I mean, tell me a little bit about osteoarthritis. Like, how big of an issue is it with animals?
Sure. In the United States, osteoarthritis, there's about, I would say about 4.8 billion market for treating OA. But on top of that, it's been growing at 7% a year. And with COVID, it's actually enhanced that number because our dogs, believe it or not, just like people, gain weight. And when you gain weight, you have more arthritis issues. So we got a lot of drivers behind us, as well as the humanization of the pets. So consumers are willing to spend significant amount of capital to improve the quality of life. So basically, you know, the numbers really drive itself through. The typical person that was willing to spend treatment for a dog in 2012 was about $1,700 before they refused treatment.
Okay.
In 2020, it's $10,700. So you see the significant revenue.
Okay.
Yeah, the humanization of the pet families really come in. And a lot of that's demographic drivers. You know, you look at less and less people are getting married, less and less people are having children. Hence, they're willing to spend whatever it takes. Plus, on top of that, you know, it's recession-proof. The sector is very recession-proof.
That's true. And I take a walk a lot, especially in the summer in New York, and there are pets everywhere. So all kinds of dogs, sizes, big, little, you know. So now you have some stories about how you have helped pet parents. Can you share a couple of those?
Sure. Not only do we treat osteoarthritis, but we treat other joint afflictions. So we had one dog at 9 months old. The owner got diagnosed, the dog that had congenital birth defect. So its hip could not be used on the rear left side. So the left leg was extremely small relative to the right leg. The right leg got really big because it was overuse. We did the injection, and it took about 3 weeks before the owner noticed improvement. And the owner, after about 6-7 weeks, said the dog was running pretty normal. And on that single injection, it lasted 7 years, which amazed us because, you know, the product should last at least a year, and we're seeing beyond that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and say if I have a pet and I notice that they have they're walking slow, slowing down, something like that, what would be a good place to start? Can I just go to a vet or go on the line, or what should I do?
Well, you generally go to your vet, and then they do an x-ray. And a lot of them can tell just by the movement of the dog, gaiting-wise. So then at that point, you know, we're in the process of educating a lot of vets at the major trade conferences and so on about our product. It doesn't require any specialized training to do the injection. It's called an intra-articular injection, and you can actually, believe it or not, go on YouTube and punch an intra-articular injection. They'll show you every injection of every joint for a dog.
Okay.
It makes the find that I go, wow, this is pretty, it's not simple stuff. Your average person should not be trying it. You know, let the professionals do the injection. And after the injection, generally within 48 hours, you notice a tangible improvement in mobility of the animal. And it actually improves over a period of time because the particles that are injected actually starts to form a scaffolding. And so that actually enhances the cushion that's allowed between the joints, because osteoarthritis is basically bone-on-bone contact. So this augments the existing cartilage, so it tends to provide support for the existing cartilage so it doesn't get damaged. And then as it starts to solidify, I would say, it acts very much like a massive amount of wet sponges between the joint. And every time there's impact, it actually moves the particles, which ends up lubricating the joint. And that's what your cartilage generally is. There's synovial fluid in there. And then when there's impact, the fluids move. So it functions just the same.
Okay, interesting. Well, congratulations again. Best of luck, John, with PetVivo. I look forward to getting more updates. IAGON's vision is to create a global supercomputer powered by artificial intelligence and blockchain technology. And with me is the CEO of Navjeet Dalawal to explain more about IAGON. So this sounds very futuristic. Navjeet, can you kind of give me a summary of what IAGON is doing?
Yeah, nice to be here. Thanks for having me. So IAGON is the first decentralized cloud computing and storage platform that bridges decentralization with regulation, enabling us to target enterprise clients. We have 3 pilot customers, 2 enterprise and 1 academia. We have grants from Innovation Norway, which is government funded, and we just recently closed a funding round of 3.4 million USD. We're led by 4 PhDs that are experts in decentralized computing, AI, cloud computing, architecture, and business development.
Wow.
That's a short summary. Yes.
Well, it sounds very interesting. How did the idea of IAGON come to you?
Yeah, so the idea actually originated from the healthcare sector. Me being from the healthcare sector, it was originally, the idea was to secure medical files and data privacy for sensitive data. Eventually, it evolved around and it came into more generic solution involving all sensitive type of data and being more GDPR compliant.
Okay, when I think of these fields, I think of the huge company, Google, and IBM is in blockchain, and they've got, a quantum computer and things like that. I mean, how do you differentiate yourself from some of these big giants in tech?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they have a lot of backing, a lot of staff, and it's hard to compete against such big companies. But we were coming up with a unique idea. We're lowering our cost by up to 80%. And we're using unused resource capacities. So anyone with a smart device, anyone with a mobile device, or even a laptop or data storage center could share their resources with us, and in return receive a revenue stream for that resources. That's why we're able to reduce prices up to 80%, and that helps us compete against them. And furthermore, we're focusing a lot of our attention on GDPR compliance. There was a couple of months ago there was an article about Google getting fined 100 mil in EU for not being GDPR compliant, and the other giants have said not to be able to be GDPR compliant because of how their infrastructure is currently. So a lot of enterprise solutions are looking at alternative solutions that help them be compliant, and that's what we're focusing on.
Okay, and I think regulation could be coming in the U.S. as well. So you might
definitely
be positioned.
Our primary focus is on GDPR in the beginning, but we're moving over to U.S. and HIPAA compliance and different types of other compliances that we'll implement later on.
So, and you've also got encryption, some other security features. Can you tell me about those?
Yeah, I mean, once you send a file to, for example, IAGON, we encrypt it and we slice it and we spread it across the network, and we store the specific hash or the fingerprint of the file on the blockchain. So it's a dual layer security. What we call in the centralized world, or let's say in Google Cloud or Dropbox, we call when we send a file to them, it's stored in a data lake. So if you take a lake, for example, which is surrounded by a fence, if there's a security breach, someone can hop over that fence and swim in the lake and collect all the data. So what we call our solution is a frozen lake, basically. So if you jump over the cybersecurity fence, you beat a frozen lake. There's no way to penetrate that data. There's no way to see what's going on.
So, and then talking about blockchain, and there are other companies in this like blockchain cloud computing space. I mean, how do you differentiate yourself there?
Yeah, of course, there's a lot of competition in the space. I mean, there's going to be a few that come out on top. So there's a room to succeed. But we don't see competition as a hindrance. We think that it drives innovation, creates motivation, and drives a more creative solution in the end. And one blockchain company to succeed means that everyone else will succeed as well. And adoption in blockchain is very, let's say, minimalistic at this time, but it is growing rapidly. And once one solution gets adopted, I think everyone will succeed. But how we differentiate ourselves specifically is that we focus on ease of use for the end user. We have the GDPR compliance, and also we have filed a patent through WIPO. So we want to secure our technology, and we have kind of a forefront and a leg up on the competition in that end.
Now, you referred early about the money, the capital raise that you just did. I mean, do you expect to allocate those funds?
Yeah, so that'll give us a 2-year runway, and we will mostly be hiring staff out of Norway and opening up a secondary office maybe in Poland. But we have ambitions to have about 25 staff members and develop our solution over the next 2 years using those funds.
Okay. Navjeet, very interesting. Thank you so much for coming and sharing the story about IAG.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me. Take care.
And okay, so I'll just make sure that they know that. So Navjeet, another way of creating a solid project is securing the right partnerships. Are there any interesting partnerships that you have or are looking to develop?
Aside from the pilot projects, which we can't mention names of, we are working closely with Cardano Foundation to drive growth and to be the leader in decentralized cloud computing in blockchain. So we're focusing on a Cardano ecosystem partnership. We have also a partnership that we'll announce soon with a data center out of Bermuda. So we have a lot of real world traction in terms of partnerships right now. We also have government funds from Innovation Norway, which is government funded, and also have a tax incentive from SkatteFUNN.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming and sharing the story of IAG, and best of luck.
Our greatest resource is not electricity, oil, or even money. It's data. But most of it is isolated in silos, too disconnected from the real world to make a difference. Crypto assets used to be idle too, with their value untapped by the market. Now, because of DeFi, they are powering a new wave of innovation in finance. At Kylan Network, we will power the data economy, doing for data what DeFi did for crypto. Built on Polkadot, our cross-chain platform will unlock idle data sets, integrating their value into a groundbreaking decentralized data marketplace. The resulting synergy between off-chain and on-chain data will give consumers and dApp builders a cost-effective solution they can actually trust over centralized sources. By connecting the real world to the blockchain, Kylan will lay the foundation for Web 3.0 and awaken the world to the power of D-Data. What will that world look like? Let's find out together.
Save Earth is saving the planet through investment in crypto. And with me is CEO Kenneth Churchill to explain what Save Earth is all about. So Kenneth, give me an overview of what you're doing and why.
So, of course, hi, Jane. Nice to meet you. We are SAFEEARTHCrypto.com. We are an eco-friendly driven project on the Ethereum blockchain. So we are a charity-based token that generates funds for charity. At the moment, we have about 8,000 holders or investors who really believe in our course. Since launch, we've raised a total of $240,000, which has been distributed to various charities around the world. Our initiative is to be helping to save the planet through investment. We also reward our holders by giving them certain transactions back on their investments.
Okay. So how does it work? How would somebody get started? How do we know where our money is going?
So, of course, obviously, like I said before, our website, SAFEEARTHCrypto.com, will have all the information that anybody needs to join our course. But we are all about generating funds for charity. And it is because of our amazing community and our holders who believe in our course. So we have certain rules that are applied to our token, which are called our tokenomics, which applies a 4% tax to every transaction that happens on the network. Now, part of that transaction is split, like I said, into 4 different percentages. 1% of each transaction will be added to what's called the liquidity pool. Now, this means that people can buy and trade our token without any worries of the price, that they're not going to be able to buy or sell. Think about it in a way that's sort of like a bank's vault. In a way, it's not accessible by us, but it's accessible by our customers who sort of buy and trade the token. Now, another 1% of that tax goes directly to our holders. So as people again buy and trade our token, they'll be automatically rewarded with rewards directly back into their crypto wallet. Another % of that is used on marketing. And the final percent, which is where the magic happens, is where it goes into what we call the Earth Fund. So 1% of every transaction that happens on our network is added to our Earth Fund wallet in the form of Ethereum that we can then hand out to different charities who are helping save the planet.
Okay. Well, I was kind of amazed that you just launched in March. I mean, that's only a few months ago, and you've already got 8,000 holders, and you've got a couple $100,000. So, I mean, how did you get it going so fast, and how did you have such quick success?
Well, it's obviously a very interesting topic because for those who are not familiar with decentralized finance, there are tokens now launching every single minute of the day. I mean, the market is completely saturated with all sorts of, scam tokens going around, from things that you can buy but you can't sell. I mean, I won't go into too much detail onto it, but the gist of it is that it's very hard to know who to trust, like you say, with your funds. I mean, especially in crypto. Thank you so much, Kenneth, for sharing the story. Thank you for what you're doing. It sounds like you're really making a difference in people's lives. So appreciate that. Thank you, Jane. Thank you for your time.
Need hearing aids? Tired of paying $5,000 or more? Tired of making multiple trips to have your hearing aids adjusted? Now you don't have to. Our HearIQ 4 medical grade hearing aids are fully rechargeable, Bluetooth compatible, and start at under $1,000 for a complete set or monthly payments of $44. Our hearing aids are self-adjusting using any smartphone and features remote programming by hearing care professionals without you ever leaving home. Order your pair today at myheariq.com. Helios DX is defining a new era of reliable laboratory testing with fast, accurate results. With a full range of services including urine toxicology, behavioral toxicology, infectious disease, allergy, and other popular test menus. Helios DX, an alternative to national diagnostic laboratories, provides value to patients and physicians through personable and reliable services. To learn more, visit heliosdx.com/labs.
GlobeXDate, through its secure product, has a lot of answers to hacking questions, cybersecurity, some of the things that we're all been dealing with. And it seems increasingly over the past couple of years. With me, the CEO of GlobeXDate is Alon Gahi, to explain a little bit more. And Alon, I know that you launched in mid-July. How is that going?
Doing great. Hi, Jane, and hello, whoever is watching us. So we started an official launch in the U.S. July 15. This started with advertising on NTD Network, a few other things we're doing, our Newsmax segment, our secure segment that's now every Sunday. And we have seen a month-over-month increase over 1,000%. So it's astronomical. So I like to say that because we did save over 1,000 identities so far because of the hacking issue and our features that prevent hacking in many ways because of our privacy regulation, our software, and so forth. We saved so far the American public $30 million in identity theft recovery costs, because it costs on average at least $30,000 for somebody to get back their identity when they're being hacked. And, you don't need to be a big corporation. It affects everyone. So the subscription rate has gone up dramatically. Our monthly recurring revenue obviously is going up. And so far, because we started from the 12th of July to now, we're not even the 12th of August. And in August, we also see a dramatic increase of over 2,000% in revenue compared to the same period in July. So, of course, we're not going to expect 1,000% increase every month, but it proves that what we're doing in the marketing is definitely working, and we have a lot more planned in the coming 18, 24 months.
Okay, well, let's talk about that a little bit, because I know you've been doing a big marketing push in the U.S. with your launch as well. So any plans for that or expansion of that at some point?
Sure. So we started gently, as we like to say, and then, kind of doing A/B testing to see what works. What's coming up in September onward, we're going to have more advertising on Newsmax. We're going to have CNBC, Fox Business. We have a 30-second commercial. And then mid-September onward, we're planning to hire and implement with that company. And we're planning to hire this company that will help us through artificial intelligence, targeting people susceptible of buying secure products. And it's not just consumers. We're launching the business services as well, which I can tell more in a little bit about that. Once businesses get to see our features and our advantages, a lot of them are going to switch to us because we don't use big tech and open source and so forth, and it protects them. And IBM came up with a study last year that each hack cost a business $3.5 million. So that's a lot of money, and it's better to pay us your $10 a month to protect yourself. So we're going to go all over TV. We just launched, we're doing so many things. We just launched over 6 subway station. We launched 156 digital panel with secure privacy has arrived. And that's from 72nd and 2nd in New York, 59th Street, Columbus Circle, 59th Street, 14th Street, Union Square, Fulton Stop, and Wall Street. And we just started those. We're going to continue throughout the year and into next year. So we're doing a lot of visual and media. And now we're going to layer the artificial intelligence to really target businesses and individuals that go on websites or anywhere that are looking for solutions like ours. And in the future, once we sign it, we will announce who the company will be that we're signing with.
Well, very interesting and timely, because we've just been hearing about hacks on a daily basis. So thank you so much, Alon. I look forward to more updates.
Enjoy the benefits of the world's first patented time-release hemp-based CBD topical cream. Hourglass has achieved increased topical bioavailability of cannabinoids that slowly release our CBD over an extended period of time. Hourglass is 99% CBD, THC-free, and lab-tested, and verified by scanning our QR codes. Visit hourglassonlinestore.com.
PetProducts.com. Thousands of products. An Al Simon Wee Wee Pad Inventor Company. Well, sports gambling bigger than ever. And what is the state of this industry as we head into the NFL football season and college football season too? I guess not just limited to NFL. So with me, the CEO of Vegas Winners, Wayne Root, who has this really interesting company that encompasses all of this. So Wayne, let's just talk about the football season. It's getting underway. We've been through a very interesting year with football. How does it look so far from your industry's point of view?
Well, I never want to sound giddy and happy about COVID, because I'm not. It's horrible.
Yeah.
But you have the only industry and one of the few companies in the world that actually benefited from COVID, because in this industry, people are now betting online. And my business is all built on staying home and doing your betting online. And so our website will be very popular. We certainly hope and we believe this coming fall, this September, October, November, December, January, and then the Super Bowl's now in mid-February, because they've extended the season by a week. So it's now an 18-week football season for the first time in history. So good timing there as I start and commence my entire website, Vegas Winners. I want to make sure everybody knows, Jane, Vegas Winners is my company. I'm the CEO of Vegas Winners, but the parent company that's publicly traded is Winners Incorporated. I'm the largest single shareholder of Winners Incorporated. I'm on the board of directors of Winners Incorporated, but the actual parent company's Winners, and I am the CEO of Vegas Winners, which which is the #1 asset of winners. And so everything for us is about gambling and sports gambling, and specifically online sports gambling. And we are the beneficiary of this new amazing situation where a terrible situation happened, COVID, but what came out of it is everybody wants to work at home, they want to bet at home, they want to watch the games at home, they want to point and click on their phone, they don't want to get involved in handling dirty money, all the money exchanges online, right? It's e-currency. So it's just a wonderful situation for our purposes. I hope COVID goes away forever. I hate it. I don't want it. I don't want anyone I know to ever be sick or God forbid die. So I'm very anti-COVID, but very pro what COVID brought in is this new future, not just of gambling, but business in general. Everything is done online. Shopping is done online. Supermarkets. Why do you have to walk in a supermarket? You can order it online. Same thing with betting. No need to ever do it ever again in any other way except with your trusty phone. I knew how to find my phone. With your trusty phone. I wanted to just, for effect, there we go. With your trusty iPhone. You make the bet with you're wondering, why is Wayne jumping off camera? I wanted to find the iPhone. This is the new way of betting, and it's going to be the new way forevermore. And our website is perfect on a phone, and it's perfect on the desktop, and it's perfect on the laptop. And that brings us to what I think should be the #1 most exciting development in our company's history, which is we just hired this amazing tech team to turn our website into the greatest sports advice, handicapping, research, information website anyone's ever had. And how do we do that? Focus groups and conversations with literally hundreds and hundreds of my best clients at VegasWinners.com to find out what they wanted in the world's best sports handicapping website. To find out what are we missing, and to find out what all our competitors have. This guy's got one thing they love. This guy's got one thing they hate. This guy's got one thing they love. So we went to the tech team with our focus group and our information from me speaking one-on-one with hundreds of amateur and professional gamblers. What do you want? What's the greatest things I could put on my website? And we've got them all on the website, starting with the commencement of football season. So I believe we've built the single best sports handicapping website and sports gaming information and advice website in the history of this country. Literally everything every sports bettor could ever want is on this site, and everything they didn't like is off this site. And then Jane, we did something even bigger. I spent the last 6 months recruiting a team of the best handicappers in the world. I used to come on this show with you and say, I've got the best handicappers. I had a team of 6 great guys. Now we've got 21 of the world's greatest handicap. I wanted to make it such a variety. My business is now like a Chinese food menu. You know, column A, column B, column C, 32 items in every column. Can I mix them? Oh my gosh, I want black bean sauce and garlic sauce. That's what my site is now. You can buy advice from 21. So it's the most very diverse group of handicappers in the world, all built around my website, VegasWinners.com, our parent company, Winners, publicly traded, WNRS, and our podcast, which is called Crush House, a trademark name, Crush House, which is on every Friday with a preview of all the games going on that weekend and our sports betting advice. So I think we've got everything in place to become the greatest sports handicapping company anybody has ever envisioned.
Yeah, it's really like a sports gambling, like media empire kind of, because you've got all this stuff going on. And you mentioned, people don't want to touch money anymore. You've got a new cryptocurrency product. So can you tell me about that?
Yeah, we're not in the crypto business like we are, in the crypto business. Mm-hmm. We're giving cryptocurrency rewards. Okay. So I'll keep this one brief because there are people at my company or brilliant tech people who understand this so much better than the dumb CEO. But basically, every time you buy something at our site, you're given the rights to have cryptocurrency, and we've printed our own form of cryptocurrency, and you get rewards, and you can eventually cash it in. It's just like a bonus, and it's a lot of fun, and we literally are are so excited to announce the launch of it. So it's cryptocurrency rewards program, just like with your credit card, Visa. You might get 2% back, or you might get, points, rewards for airline travel, hotels. We're giving you cryptocurrency points. And it was very high-tech stuff that I'm not even in that world, Jane, but I was so excited at the vision of what we're doing.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Wayne.
Thanks, Jane. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to New to the Street. I'm Anna Berry, and happy to speak with Alain Guillay with GlobeXDate Limited. It's the leader in Swiss-hosted private and secure communications and data management. It's always a pleasure speaking with you, Alain. Welcome back on the show.
Thank you, Anna. Always a pleasure to be here.
All right, so the news is always full with these issues. So talk a little bit about the latest Microsoft email phishing hack and the users of Office 365 and SharePoint. There's a lot of people out there that's been affected by this.
Yeah, so a few days ago, the Microsoft Intelligence Research Group posted a new vulnerability that there's a new set of hackers and a new methodology of people phishing your email and spoofing. Now, these are words that are a bit sometimes unknown to the general public. So when you say email phishing, it's essentially somebody's tricking you, the receiver of an email, to click on a link, and then suddenly you open a malware and they take over your computer or your phone, and they also can hold you for ransom, or your business, even worse. The spoofing is essentially the creation of an email with a fake identity, a forged identity. So it may come into me, let's say, as Anna Berry. And then, we mostly have the reaction of, okay, I'm just going to open it because it's Anna Berry. I've been in every security symposium that I go to. A lot of people say half of the security is human behavior. We can only do so much with machine. So we have to now be more diligent. So what happens is, on Office 365, which already has been compromised by several SolarWind hacks, a SolarWind company that got hacked, and every month now we discover there's a new version of the hack and more people are affected. The source code of Microsoft supposedly has been stolen now. So you have millions of developers in that open source community, which is a community of developers worldwide that usually work on a particular software, and everybody kind of improves it. But the downside, the reverse, is that you have malicious people that come in, act as real, what we call white hat developers, but they come in to figure out how to get in to these software. So you have millions of people affected, and we can't just stop email. So one of the things I would recommend, and SharePoint is a file sharing system. A lot of legacy companies use it. There's definitely other solutions. But when you buy the whole Office suite, it comes with all these things. But again, it goes back to what we've been saying, is it's all about the data mining. Right? The big companies, they make money from your data, not from charging you $10, $20, $50 a month. So that's also increases the risk, and it also is basically a great attraction for hackers to come and steal your data.
I personally know that a lot of people, Office 365, SharePoint, it's used at government agencies, right? So that's extremely confidential and valuable information that they're hacking into. So you said you have some of those tips, which is like hovering over that email name. Talk to us a little bit more about how secure is different, how it protects any of this from happening in your own database, in your own phone, in your computer system. Break it down for us.
Sure, gladly. So some people might go to secure.com and they're going to see secure or secure messenger. Secure has the email and the messenger service as well. So what we do, if you use webmail, that means if you go on secure.com or mail.secure.com and you're on your webmail, just like what you would go on a Gmail, without installing the email on your device itself. When you use what we call webmail or online mail, we have a bunch of tools that are very helpful. So first, we have the secure send feature, which is amazing because essentially our technology, what we do, see, everybody else, what they do is they secure an email or a message from the device, then they send that encryption key to the recipient, and then it goes back and forth. There's hacks happening there too. We call that man-in-the-middle hack, because the encryption that your device does is not really that powerful because the device doesn't have a lot of processing power. What we do is your emails and your messages never leave our environment in Switzerland. We have, you know, super powerful servers that crunch out highly complex encryption key. We have a lot of processing power. It's like engine power. And an engine power of $1 million of servers is bigger than a $1,000 phone, right? So that what we do is, let's say we can exchange information. You can email someone that has even another email like Gmail, a work mail, Hotmail, and that person will receive a link to click. You can password protect that link, time limit, and even how many times they can read. When they click on the link, they're in our Swiss environment, they can read the email, and they can do secure reply. So even if you don't have secure, but the sender has secure, they can protect that two-way communication. And because that communication never leaves our servers, it's protected. And you also would have to literally hack us to try to mimic that secure send and secure reply. We've started in 2007 in Switzerland. We have never had a successful hack for many reasons, which we will go over in the coming months of how we do things. But basically, that's a fact. Now, that's the email. That's great because you're going to email your doctor, your bank, your lawyer, your friends, your supplier, I mean, anything. You know, if you're a business, you want those financial transactions to be protected. If you're an individual and you email maybe something to a doctor or a chiropractor or, you know, a naturopath, you don't want your medical record to be floating all over the net, right? So, or if you travel, for example, you know, there's so many things. So for the messenger, we do things a little bit differently. And I think that's where some of our users have sometime like that extra step to understand and accept. When you give your phone number away, when you download an application, which they always ask for your phone number, they have your phone number by default. When you get an app from a phone, from iOS or Android, they have your phone number. It's a fact. What you do with us is different. You first register at secure.com on the website. You get a user ID and a password. We never ask for your phone number. Then when you go to your iPhone or Android and download that app, if you want to go through an app, even though we have a mobile version, you basically never have to give the phone number away. You log in with a username and password, and we have a complete wall. We don't store anything on the phone. The only downside for this is that if you want to text someone, well, first of all, for every application, the other person needs the app as well. If they don't have the same app, then they can't, unless you do SMS, which now everybody can read, right? You don't want that. So if you use Secure Messenger, we found a way to message someone that doesn't even have Secure. You put their first, last name, and email, because we never ask for the phone number. They get an email that says, Anna wants to chat with you. They click, and it opens a secure browser, a private channel. Now they are in Switzerland too, just like you. And you're both communicating within our Swiss server. We get a lot of people that say, I can't ask and add contact one at a time. I understand that. So in the next 8 weeks, we're going to try to make it that we can upload all your contact without data mining them, because we never data mine anything. And that'll be a little bit easier. So you say, hey, I want to go to Anna. It'll pop up and populate Anna's name and email. But that's the only way not to get hacked.
Elaine, this technology is fantastic, and I really look forward to following up with more updates with you in the future right here on New to the Street.
Thank you, Anna. And thanks, and everyone, for watching us.
It's our America. We built it. Courage, freedom, Millions go to Newsmax when they need to know. Start today on the free Newsmax app. Newsmax is real news for real people.
It is the president's private jet, the most exclusive plane for the most powerful man in the world. Now you can go on board and see the inside of Air Force One. Find out its secrets. Watch Secret Access Air Force One on Newsmax TV.
For your home and the field, to protect and provide. With over 200 models of rifles and shotguns to choose from, there's a Henry that's ready for you. Henrys are made in America or not made at all, backed by a lifetime warranty. They're reliable and affordable. For a free catalog and decals, call the number on your screen or visit henryusa.com. That's henryusa.com.
So many people are overweight now and asking themselves, why can't I lose weight? For most, the reason is insulin resistance, and they don't even know they have it. Conventional starvation diets don't address insulin resistance. That's why they don't work. Now there's Golo. Golo helps with insulin resistance, getting rid of sugar cravings, helps control stress and emotional eating, and losing weight. Go to Golo.com and see how Golo can change your life. That's GOLO.com.
Good morning and welcome to Save the Nation. I'm your host, Adam Brandon. The situation in Afghanistan continues to unfold with thousands of Americans and tens of thousands of Afghan allies still left stranded behind enemy lines, despite what the White House might say. According to White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki, Americans who cannot reach the